Oh my gosh, I already spilled it. We're loaded now. We got picked up by a big studio investor.
Yeah.
So we got all the money in the whole world now.
Limitless money. I mean, there is a limit, but we're going to go over it at some point.
We got as much money as the movie Limitless did as a budget.
And the TV show. And
definitely more than the TV show. Except for the pilot, which Bradley Cooper showed up in. He's not cheap. How have you been?
Well, now that we got money, no problems whatsoever. Whoever said
Zero
more money,
issues.
more problems was an idiot.
Yeah, what the heck, man? Why are you lying? Always. Why are you always lying? So welcome to the Daily Placeholder, the show that we forgot to name. We put the Daily Placeholder as a literal placeholder when we were first thinking of this show. The initial pitch was to do a daily news show, but we're both too lazy for that. So it turned a week, and then we just got caught up in all this other stuff, trying to get picked up by a big studio, and we forgot to name the show, so now we're stuck with the Daily Placeholder.
But we still got picked up, so
That's true.
Despite all odds.
We were given duffel bags full of money.
On our doorstep. At
our doorstep. Because we live together, apparently, at the house that we both live at. If you would like to send an email to us, we're going to be reading some later. Send it to thedailyplaceholder@gmail.com. Excuse me, everyone. It's time for news. It's
what everyone came here for.
Larry King, this is really sad. Larry King has passed away at the age of 87. He is known for his work on The Daily Show, Politicking with Larry King, and Larry King Now, as well as numerous cameos in movies and television, such as B-Movie, Shrek, and Gravity Falls. Those are just a few that I knew him, remember him cameoing in. He's done so much other stuff. I wish I knew more about him before he died.
I mean, one thing you can say is I don't know if he holds a record. I would imagine he does for longest running show host. He's been doing this forever.
Yeah.
I mean, he's outlasted a lot of people he's interviewed.
I'm definitely most familiar with Larry King Now because that's his internet show where he interviews a whole bunch of celebrities with some great, he's probably, in my opinion, he was, besides maybe David Letterman, he was the best interviewer. Letterman's really good, though.
Mostly because he just doesn't care at some points. He'll just say whatever.
He'll just do whatever. Oh, there's a great... Have you seen that clip that got flown around where he's playing the harp? He's playing the harp, and then, you only see the end of him doing it. He's like... Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And then there's a lady standing behind him who I assume brought the harp, and he was like, let me play. She's standing behind him, and she's like, wow, that was beautiful. And then it cuts back to Larry King, and he's just crying because he loves the harp so much. And she's like, aw, and he just says, I love the harp. It sucks that he died.
I mean, there was the great clip that came around recently when he was interviewing Danny Pudi.
Yeah.
He was just trying to see what his comforts were, because I guess he just assumed that, Danny Pudi gets around, he gets a lot of roles. What are his luxuries?
Like a private plane or something like that.
And then Danny Pudi's like, Larry, I'm on DuckTales. And there's another one that surfaced where he was interviewing Jerry Seinfeld for the B-Movie.
Oh, yeah.
And Jerry Seinfeld just gets really upset with him because he just mentioned that Seinfeld got canceled. Which, I mean, I guess he just didn't know that it just ended. I mean, for all he knew, it did. And then Jerry Seinfeld just goes on and on about how it was the most popular show in the world. And then Larry King's trying to end the program by saying, go see B-Movie. And then Jerry Seinfeld's just still going on.
Got him. The best joke in B-Movie, I feel, is Larry King's character just being called B. Larry King. Okay.
This is just in totally real actual news from a very trusted source.
Absolutely, 100% real and not clickbait is
Not
what
at
we
all.
really need to hammer home. Also, story time, you won't believe it. All the great,
Gone wrong.
gone wrong, gone sexual.
Mom and Dad found out? Marvel reportedly desperate to get Nick Cage back as Ghost Rider. I mean, that's true. You know, I've been in their offices, and that's all they talk about every day.
I was expecting a Spider-Man noir, which Nicolas Cage played in Into the Spider-Verse.
No, see, that would make sense.
That would make sense. Honestly, I would love it if he came back as Ghost Rider.
Because no one would want it. No one, most of the audience, like current aged kids, probably wouldn't remember that Nicolas Cage was Ghost Rider in 2 movies.
Yeah. I wouldn't have. I've seen half of the first Ghost Rider movie, I think.
They're both the same, probably. Although I remember the second one has like really bad editing. But he also pieced fire in that one.
That's true. I've seen that scene.
But the first one does have that scene where Nicolas Cage sits down on his couch, or an armchair.
Oh yeah, I know this.
He gets a champagne glass, fills it with jelly beans, and watches footage of a monkey doing karate.
I think that's the peak of cinema. I think we can just end this show.
That's it.
That's it. Now I need to clarify that was not clickbait. Once again, it was not at all clickbait and was 100% real and not something that we are making fun of.
I do gotta say, doing that segment, it was very tough at first because a lot of the clickbait, was a lot of the very sexist and racist ones.
Oh.
Like, this actor hates all white people. There's a lot of that.
Who was it by? What website, do you remember?
Do you want to guess?
Was it Screen Rant?
No.
Or was it We Got This Covered? Yeah.
The one. I went through a lot of them.
I hate We Got This Covered. Although I do love the Weekly Planet side podcast.
Yes.
The Weekly Planet is a podcast. Everyone should listen to it. It's got
But not before you listen to ours.
James. Yeah, of course. Well, ours isn't a podcast. Ours is a news show. So it's not. Both things can happen. Can
Watch them and listen to them both at the same time.
Sure. James Clement, Nick Mason. It's my favorite podcast of all time, and they do a weekly. They basically what we do. Well, we do what they do because they did it first. They started in 2013. They have a side podcast on their subscription service, BigSandwich.co, and it's called We Got This Covered, where they just go through just clickbait articles and just rag on them, but no snitches. No snitches. Nobody tell anybody that they're making fun of them. Okay.
Wonka, a chocolate factory story.
That's the headline.
A prequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, simply titled Wonka, will release in 2023.
That's 2 years away.
Or it could be moved back, probably. Paul King will direct, and Warner Bros. Are eyeing Tom Holland, or Timothy Chalamet, to play the titular Willy Wonka. Simon Rich wrote the original draft, and Simon
Farnaby
and Paul King are penning the current draft.
Sorry, the ink ran out a little bit, so it's a little bit hard to read. Also, my sister printed these double-sided. Alex, if you're watching, screw you.
That's what you get for hiring family.
I'll say it amongst our millions of viewers that we get now that we have all the money.
That we just bought.
What happens if nobody watches this?
We buy the views.
There you go. Money can buy everything.
Money can buy happiness.
Speaking of which, this episode is brought to you by Jolly Rancher Gummies, everyone.
100% endorsed.
100% endorsed. You can grab a bunch. They are original flavors as well.
50% less, or 50% less diabetes. It's a guarantee. Why'd you go for grape first? It's the worst one.
It's not the worst thing I've ever had.
That was on the ad read, I'm pretty sure.
Ugh. It doesn't taste like dog food.
Jolly Rancher.
Did you want one?
No.
Okay.
It was in the contract only for one person to eat it.
This headline is more like a game of eggs.
Got him.
And you'll find out why. A prequel series to Game of Thrones titled Tales of Dunk and Egg is in development.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I can't. It follows the adventures of Sir Duncan the Tall and Aegon the Fifth Targaryen 90 years after the events of the original series. 90 years before the events of the original series. I wouldn't have brought this up if I didn't like the title, which is Tales of Dunk and Egg.
Imagine how lame you have to be in a fantasy setting where your name is just blank the Tall.
Duncan the Tall. It's like Bran the Broken. God, that's for all you Game of Thrones fans out there. I know I've seen 7 episodes.
I've seen 0.
I've seen clips. I remember when that show ended and nobody cared anymore.
That was a good time.
Now this piece of news is about the Snyder Cut. Zack Snyder's Justice League will no longer release as a 4-part miniseries because it was originally going to come out as 4 separate 1-hour chunks, and will instead now release as a 4-hour movie on HBO Max.
They're really assuming that people are going to have the patience to watch this. I mean,
Yes.
regular, non-Snyder Cut is my life people.
I'm going to watch it,
I will not.
and that's okay, because I am actually looking forward to it. Now, we got some casting news. Now. I'll say the best for last. So Jim Gaffigan has been cast in Peter and Wendy as Mr. Smee. It's pretty good casting.
Yeah.
I don't care about this movie, but good for him.
Hook already exists. Just go watch Hook.
Yeah. Alan Tudyk will not reprise his role as K2SO in Andor, which is the the Disney Plus show about Cassian Andor from Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. This is all Star Wars, by the way. It's a prequel to that movie. Alan Tudyk is not going to be back as the robot, even though I'm pretty sure when they announced this show, Alan Tudyk got up on stage with Diego Luna, who plays Cassian Andor.
He's like, we're doing it, guys.
Did they cut him out of the... You know what? In Jedi Fallen Order, which is a video game, they are the same robots, but they have different voices. So maybe the character will be there, but not Alan Tudyk? Maybe Alan Tudyk got fired from Disney.
Well, it might be that they'll use the voice actors from that game or the voices, so they don't have to pay Alan Tudyk.
Maybe. And then, the best piece of casting news we had this week, in my opinion, is that Matt Damon has been cast in Thor: Love and Thunder in an unspecified role. Now, it's probably going to be Throg or Beta Ray Bill or some other alien, but he had a cameo in Thor Ragnarok as an actor playing Loki in a play.
Loki himself was putting on.
Yeah, the Loki
as Odin.
Watch Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Imagine if that actor just gets caught up in this adventure that Thor has. Just an Asgardian, just kind of chill, like not wanting to be there. Still in the Loki costume and wig. He's just like, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be here.
Maybe he's still performing in wherever they are now. Spider-Man, Spider's Shadow.
What is that about?
So basically, they're doing a what if, but it's going to be probably either a limited series or a graphic novel in which what if Spider-Man became Venom? So instead of just getting the symbiote, doing some good, finding out it's live, getting rid of it, presumably he'll just be like, you know what? Killing people with an alien suit's pretty cool. That's written by Chip Zdarsky. Probably didn't say that right.
I know that name. What's he done?
He's done another Spider-Man what if kind of series called Spider-Man Life Story. In which it was what if Spider-Man aged in real time
Oh,
but with his
yeah.
publication history.
Yeah, so like he started in the
60s.
60s.
And it goes to 2010.
That's cool.
And that was really good.
Yeah, I've heard about Life Story.
So he can write Spider-Man really well, so I'm excited. Next, Guardians of the Galaxy relaunch. They've been all weird in comics recently, so Marvel has decided to reform them and say that it's going to bring a whole new space age to Marvel Comics.
Spage.
Yes. The most important thing about it is that the former Young Avengers and New Avengers, Hulkling, which I guess you can't really call him that anymore, he's like 20-something now, and Wiccan,
Okay.
which pertains to a topic later, and their husbands are going to be a part of this team.
Oh, you mean they are husbands?
Yeah.
I thought you meant like their respective husbands.
Unless that's where the series goes.
I was like, wait, who are they married to? Okay,
No, they're married to each other.
Okay.
Are going to be a part of the team.
Oh, that's cool.
So they'll get some more, they'll be out there more. Which is good for them.
That's good. I like those. Well, I like Hulkling more. I don't really know much about Wiccan.
He's kind of like Doctor Strange, but a little cooler because he's younger.
Yeah.
He's not old.
I think it's funny that Wiccan and Speed are the super fast and super magic twin sons of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, who are the super fast and super magic twins.
Well, to be clear, they're Wanda's kids. Wanda didn't have
Yes.
children with Pietro. If you want that, go read Ultimate Marvel Comics.
Yeah, but also don't
Don't ever do
those.
that. That's gross.
You can read Miles Morales, and that's it.
And finally, Heroes Reborn. So, in tradition from last episode, where Marvel's like, what if we did Clone Saga again? This time, they decided to bring back the name of a terrible event that they did in the 90s.
Sure.
In the 90s, they had Heroes Reborn. So,
Yes.
Charles Xavier and Magneto were killed. Their consciousnesses fused together and formed a thing called Onslaught. Onslaught killed all the heroes, presumably, but Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic's son, Franklin Richards, created a pocket dimension where he shoved all the supposedly dead heroes in, and this was Marvel's decision or way of giving Rob Liefeld and his friends complete stake over every character that they had.
Why is Rob Liefeld still alive and Larry King is not?
That's a good question. There's still time.
No, because Larry King's dead.
Well, yeah, and so they're using that branding again to make some weird kind of new universe. Doctor Doom is fused with the Juggernaut. Scarlet Witch and Jean Grey are fused. Agent Coulson from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is president.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he's fused with like Ghost Rider or somebody.
No, there's some fusions, but then there's not.
Interesting.
Ben Grimm, the Thing, and Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, are Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, okay. I saw that Ghost Rider and Black Panther are fused, I think.
Oh, well, see, that's interesting because Marvel had a separate event called Secret Warps, where they also fused characters together.
Secret Warps.
Oh, see, it's real simple. Gamora used the Reality Stone to fold reality, like literally
And just smush everyone together?
smushed everyone together, and that's how you got Arachnite, Moon Knight, and Spider-Man, Ghost Panther, Black Panther, and Ghost Rider, whatever the Iron Man and Thor one was called,
Sure.
and Captain America and Doctor Strange.
So let me tell you something. Everyone listening, don't read comics.
Do not.
Comics are stupid and dumb. I can tell you the ones that are good.
I mean, all of that was reason enough just to not read them whatsoever.
You can read The Vision by Tom King. You can read Mr. Miracle. That's also by Tom King, right?
Also by Tom King.
Read The Walking Dead.
Yes, Tom King.
You can read Invincible, which we'll get to later. Invincible is my favorite comic of all time. You can read Saga, but I can't really suggest you do because it's very graphic in any way you can imagine. Read Watchmen. You can read... Oh, there's another one that I thought of. Oh, you can read Old Man Logan. He doesn't really like that one that much, but it's good.
The best advice I can give is try to pick a really obscure character or a series that does not connect to anything at all.
Yeah.
Choose the most standalone thing you can find.
And you can read Y the Last Man.
Yes. Comics.
those are all the comics that I've read 100% of. Because they're very good.
Yeah.
Alright, time for the next thing. Casting news again. This is Alex's fault. Alright, we got movie dates and movie delays. First of all, you got No Time to Die. Will now release in October 2021.
You know what? Seems like there's a lot of time to die.
Woo! Yeah, baby! A Quiet Place Part 2 will now release on September 17th, 2021.
Forgot this movie existed.
I did too. It was supposed to come out last year.
Maybe even before that?
I don't know.
I feel like this was 2019.
No, I think it was supposed to come out right when theaters got shut down. It was supposed to come out in like April of last year. Right when lockdown hit hard.
I mean, they did produce products for it. Like, they had Doritos. They're like, a Quiet Place 2 Doritos.
Don't crunch too loud.
They were soft Doritos.
Last Night in Soho will now release September 22nd, 2021.
Looking forward to it.
They haven't released anything for it except a few images, but it's Edgar Wright's new movie. And Edgar Wright, he's my second favorite director. Jim Cummings is my favorite director.
I would say that Edgar Wright hasn't done anything horrible yet. Like, not a single one of his projects is horrible.
Yeah, exactly. Same with Jim Cummings.
Yeah.
They also both seem like very nice men in real life.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters Afterlife will now release on November 11th, 2021.
We're all gonna be in the afterlife when this movie comes out.
Very good. Very good. Morbius will now release on January 21st, 2022.
Isn't that like a whole year? Like it was January 21st, 2021?
No, it was March. And then so basically a whole year.
Well, it's in January where it belongs.
Got him. The dumping ground of months.
This is the... Well, no. I was going to say Bloodshot, but I think that came out in March.
That was... Yeah, something like that. Uncharted will never release.
No, it's not coming out.
Well, right now it has the release date of February 11th, 2022. It got pushed back again.
Imagine trying this hard for a video game movie.
Yeah, gross. What's a good one, even? Angry Birds Movie 2. That's a great movie.
That is one.
Everyone watch that movie.
Maybe that's the only one.
Detective Pikachu's pretty good. That's 2.
It's video game adjacent, though.
I mean, it's based on a video game. Detective Pikachu is a video game. What else is good? Tomb Raider is okay.
It has Walton Goggins in it.
That's true. Walton Goggins is a charm. Wreck-It Ralph, great video game movie. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, my favorite video game movie. Can't wait for Free Guy.
Another movie not being released. Remember when they had that video saying it's coming out soon?
And they were just like, I don't know when it's gonna come out. And finally, connected, but it is now gone back to its original title, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, has been bought by Netflix and will release on their streaming platform.
I'm very excited for that.
Yes. It's by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who did the Lego movies.
Oh, they're producing it.
Yeah, but like, the way they produce, they're very involved with it. They did the Lego movies, they did the Jump Street movies, the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs movies, they did Clone High, which I've never gotten to see.
It's very good.
I think it's just on YouTube though, so I probably could see it. And then they did, of course, Into the Spider-Verse.
And everyone involved after the news came out in the project said how happy they were that they didn't have to call it Connected anymore.
Yeah.
I prefer Mitchells versus the Machines.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Sony changed that to Connected. Screw you, Sony.
Yeah.
Can't wait for Morbius.
In theaters, never.
Got him.
Muncher. An official steal from Ghostbusters Afterlife, featured in Master Chef Jr.
Master Chef Jr.?
Which I guess that was the reward. Kind of a sucky reward. Has been released, unveiling a new character named Muncher.
He looks gross. Here's a picture of him.
How much do you want to bet that's Egon?
Oh no, better not be Egon.
He's gonna follow them around the movie and they're gonna be like, Muncher, we hate you. And then he's gonna be like, you thought I was Muncher the entire time? It's me, Egon.
It's dead Harold Ramis. He also has 6 arms. And now an ad from our sponsor. Alright, that's enough. All 5 seasons of The Muppet Show will be available on Disney Plus starting February 19th. To talk with us about this new announcement, we have an understudy from The Muppet Show on the line now. Herman, how you doing?
I'm doing good, y'all. How are you?
Oh, we're doing just fine.
Now, Herm, we have a few questions for you.
No, I was not convicted of tax evasion despite recent allegations.
How was it to, what?
What?
Herman, did you not pay your taxes?
I don't think I should answer that question without my Muppet lawyer present.
Well, let's change the subject. How was it to work on The Muppet Show and witness the genius?
I can't. Let's keep going. Let's keep it rolling. Oh my god.
I mean to do it. How was it to witness the genius that was Kermit the Frog?
Oh, it was wonderful. Kermit the Frog, or as I like to call him, Kermit, he really is a great director and a great producer. And he really makes us all feel like we're all one big happy Muppet family.
Awesome. Now, can you tell us any fun behind-the-scenes stories about working on a show like The Muppet Show?
Oh, let me think. Well, actually, after work, one night, we all went to get drinks. And it happened to be open mic night at the bar that we all went to. So naturally, Fozzie, who's the comedian around the office, he wanted to get up and do some of his stand-up. Unfortunately, he had a little too much honey, if you know what I'm saying. And he wasn't his usual self. And I'll never forget this. Fozzie was so drunk that he dropped the N-bomb on stage. I'm pretty sure he had a long conversation with our Muppet HR rep, but we all tease him about it to this day. Now, you have to understand, it was a different time then. You could say whatever you wanted as long as it was funny, it wouldn't matter.
That is so true.
Amen.
Now we have one more question for you, Herman.
Shoot.
How do you walk around if you don't have any legs?
Well, of course I have legs. They're right here.
Herman, are you okay? Well, it seems that our interview is now over. So, let's move on to our next segment, Trailer Trash.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, the first trailer we got, well, not the first, but the first one we're going to talk about is for Invincible. It is a show on Amazon Prime. It will release on March 26th, 2021. The first 3 episodes will drop that day, and then 5 more episodes weekly after that. We have recently gotten a clip from the show, which was why we're talking about it now. After previously getting a small trailer months earlier, the show will star Steven Yeun, J.K. Simmons, Sandra Oh, Mark Hamill, Seth Rogen, John Hamm, Mahershala Ali, Zachary Quinto, and more.
Pretty much everybody.
I am so excited for this show. Like I said earlier, Invincible is my favorite comic of all time. They ripped the art style straight out of the comic and just made it a new show.
And each episode is going to be an hour long.
An hour long. Plus, it's by the guys who did The Boys, which is another great show. And we know that that company has some misses.
Yeah.
Sausage Party. But lately, they've had a really good run with Preacher, The Boys, Good Boys, which was a movie. What else have they done recently?
I think that's it. I guess Good Boys is the most recent thing, I would think.
Seth Rogen voiced Pumbaa in the Lion King remake. Good for him.
Well, I guess besides The Boys would be the most recent thing.
Yeah.
And considering their track record of turning meh to okay comic books into really good things, like Preacher, The Boys, taking something like Invincible, which is already great, I mean, that'll either fail spectacularly or
I hope they
be
don't.
something even more amazing.
I hope. This looks really good. I love the whole vibe of the show.
It seemed like it'll do a good, like from what we've seen, it wasn't very action heavy, so it seems like they'll have calm, collected scenes, which is still animated well, and then it's just gonna explode when he punches a guy really hard and his head explodes.
Yeah.
And other stuff.
I hope the show gets real gory. Because the comic does.
Yeah.
Now the next trailer is Young Rock.
Do you want to guess what the tagline for the show is?
Okay, I'm gonna guess.
Just think of the most simple sentence you can think
I'm
of.
gonna guess. Started as a pebble, now we hear.
Now that would be good.
I'm gonna lock that in. I'm locking that in as a tagline for Young Rock.
Something big is coming.
What?
Something big is coming.
That doesn't make any sense. Well, I guess The Rock is pretty
So get big.
Dwayne Johnson is the biggest man on earth.
So from the trailer, it seems that maybe they'll do interview segments with The Rock, where he's like,
Yeah.
you know, this reminds me of the time I was young Rock.
And then I think they will recreate parts of his life that he talks about, like a dramatization.
The big question is, how much content do they expect to get out of this show?
I have a question for you. Will you watch this?
No.
I'm not going to watch it either. But it seemed just interesting enough to bring it up here.
It's definitely a weird idea.
We both like Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
My head itches. This is an itchy hat.
It's no young Sheldon.
But it's worth it because we're rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope they cross over with young Sheldon. Alright, Superman and Lois. I'm not gonna watch this either. I don't watch these CW shows, they're all trash.
It seems like they upped the budget a little bit.
Yeah, I'll
Like
give
by
them
the
that.
trailer, it looks different.
Well, it's because they don't have as many shows to spread the money out between.
They fired and canceled everybody so
Yeah.
they could have one expensive.
Right now they still have, I think Supergirl is on its last season.
And The Flash.
They have, The Flash is still going strong, I'll give them that. Unless they're ending soon, I don't know, I don't follow it. They got this now, they got a new Batwoman season. I don't think Legends of Tomorrow has been canceled yet, or was it?
No, it's coming back as far as we know.
Okay. Arrow ended a little while ago.
But their sequel series, or spin-off, got canceled.
Black Lightning, I think. Well, I don't know.
Who even knows at this point?
And what else is there? Lucifer's on Netflix now.
Yeah.
That's probably done anyways. Oh well.
Stargirl, I guess?
Oh yeah, Stargirl.
No, that's kind of its own thing, since it started on DC Universe and just played reruns on the CW.
Yeah.
And now HBO Max gets all of these, I guess.
And finally, Boss Level. Oh, I forgot to ask, will you watch Superman and Lois?
No, mainly for the reason that giving Superman and Lois 2 teenage sons seems like it's
Yeah.
going to be the most exhausting thing to watch.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee this is going to happen. Mark my words. One son's going to get powers. Yeah.
One son gets power. Okay, go on.
And he's going to be like, I'm super kid with my super dad.
He's gonna be like, I'm a super kid with powers. Okay, go on.
And then the other kid is going to go first he's going to go bald.
The other kid is gonna go bald.
And then he's going to be evil. He's going to go work for Lex Luthor.
And then he goes and finds Lex Luthor and they kiss.
Well, he's a kid, so.
Never mind. That's weird. And that's what we have to say about Superman and Lois. Now, Boss Level.
Would be better if it didn't have Mel Gibson in it, but
This is a time loop movie, which initially I'm like, why? Palm Springs was the peak of time loop movies. We don't need any more.
no, Groundhog Day.
Well, that started it. It's definitely a good movie. But I would say Palm Springs is a better movie. But of course, you can't have Palm Springs without Groundhog Day.
I guess they're both at like the opposite ends.
Yeah. But at first I was like, why would you do this? But I am sort of interested to see all the dumb ways that he'll get killed, the main character. Because
And Happy Death Day. That's in there somewhere.
that's the exact middle.
Yeah.
If Groundhog Day and Palm Springs are on opposite ends of the spectrum, then Happy Death Day is right in the middle. The conceit of this is that the main character Is it played by Frank Grillo?
Joe Manganiello.
It's not Joe Manganiello, is it?
Sure? I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh, well then it's
Felt
Joe
like it was.
Manganiello. I don't remember. I watched this trailer a little while ago. It's either Joe Manganiello or Frank Grillo.
They're very interchangeable.
Yes. Well, at least they're similar. I wouldn't say necessarily they're interchangeable. He's great in Magic Mike. And he's stuck in a time loop and he keeps getting killed in different ways. And I'm excited to see all the weird ways that he gets killed in. And Mel Gibson is their known racist.
And I guarantee that the twist is going to be it's a video game.
Oh my god, it turns into that movie with Matthew McConaughey. Serenity. I would love that. Okay,
What a film.
now it's time for our reviews. First of all, let's save the best for last. We'll go with Pixar popcorn at first. It's fine.
Yeah. They should have said that these weren't going to have like voice
Dialogue,
acting.
yeah. Which I don't mind them not having dialogue, but I was expecting dialogue, so it took me a little bit to settle in.
I mean, they're fine. They're cute enough.
I like the Incredibles ones.
That's nice.
Those are really good. I liked the Soul one. There's one other one that I really liked.
Like the Coco one.
Coco one is really good too, because it has that through line of the two uncles on the bike just losing their mind. Like, they lose control of the bike somehow, and they keep going down, and wacky stuff keeps happening to them. Frick. There's one other... I liked Dory Finding. Oh, of course, I really liked the Key and Peele ones.
The only ones with dialogue.
Yeah, just because I love Key and Peele. Yeah. Overall, they're pretty good.
I mean, I guess the best part of these is that for stuff like Soul and Coco, and even Incredibles, I guess, is these are the only type of continuations we're going to get for some of these.
Yeah. I should probably explain that Pixar Popcorn is a series on Disney Plus of different shorts based on pre-existing Pixar movies or characters. So, like, there's a Toy Story one that I did not care for at all.
It's just them dancing.
They're not dancing, they're trying to exercise, but it looks like they're dancing. And then Buzz Lightyear gets sad that nobody's trying to exercise, and then they try to exercise.
The obligatory cars
Although
one.
everyone was trying to exercise, and then
He just didn't like
he
how
just
they're
got
exercising.
sad, and then they were doing better exercising, so he was like, "Oh yay, friends." Yeah, there's two Cars ones.
Everyone's favorite franchise.
I liked one of them, actually. Which one did I like?
There's one where it's parallel parking.
I don't think I liked that one. No, yeah, I did sort of like the one where they're dancing. I didn't like the parallel parking one.
Oh yes, the dancing and parallel parking. Those are the two.
And then the Soul one I really like because it's just a little slice of life about all the characters from Soul.
It's good to see the Soul animation again, the human animation.
Because the animation is spectacular. The Incredibles ones are just them being a family around the house. It's pretty cool.
You can definitely tell with the Incredible ones that the people who were doing those knew what they were going to do.
Yeah.
Like whatever their prompt was for these, or whatever like limits they were given, they knew this is what we're going to do.
I don't have anything else to say about Pixar Popcorn.
I mean, it's not like the greatest thing I've ever seen. It's not the worst. It's fine.
Yeah, they're cute. If you like Pixar, and especially if you like the shorts that they make, then you'll like these. But there's no dialogue.
Except for the Ducky and Bunny ones.
Yeah, except for the Ducky and Bunny ones. Okay, now it's time for the real nitty gritty. Time for some WandaVision talk.
It's the 70s.
What is happening? What the frick is happening here?
You thought you knew what was happening? Well, you don't.
I don't. So full spoilers for WandaVision,
All the
episode
spoilers.
3. It's titled Now in Color.
Because it is. It's
They
now
also
in color.
retroactively named the other two. They're called Filmed Before a Live Studio Audience and Don't Touch That Dial.
Don't touch it.
Okay. TVs don't have dials anymore, idiots. Come on, Kevin Feige.
Come on.
I'll fight you. I'll Kevin Feige you. That's right.
Got him.
So yeah, of course, Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany, they're back as the titular Wanda and Vision. I'm glad they do really good as their characters, especially in this show. But I think the breakout role was Tiana Paris as Geraldine. She's great.
Is she acting, or is she actually a part of this reality?
I don't know. Does she get... Because, like, Wanda looks over and she's like, who are you? And then Geraldine's like, I don't know.
And then the people in Westview are maybe living in fear of Wanda?
I know.
Because...
I really liked that Herb scene where he's
just
cutting through the wall, and then he seemed really petty because Vision was like, hey, it looks like you did a little too much on that hedge cutting, and then Herb's like, oh yeah, I did. Have a nice day.
And is that Herb's way of getting back at them?
Or is he literally trying to cut through a barrier?
We don't know. Because my assumption going in was this is all fake.
Mm-hmm.
But they seem to know that they're not, like, this is all fake.
Mm-hmm.
The reality. But the people are maybe real?
Maybe. And now she's got 2 kids.
Yeah.
Are they real? And if so, they can't be Visions. He's a robot.
And my thing is, has Vision always had the ability to run at super speed?
I think he does. He's just never had to use it because he's not like as excitable as he is in the show. In other movies, he's more stoic, and he just like he flies everywhere. He doesn't run anywhere except for in this show.
I mean, we know from the trailers he's gonna fly out and like see how weird everything is.
Yeah.
But I do wonder if there's a certain reason why he's not flying now. Like if that's part of the reality thing, is that he can't remember how to fly.
He has flown a couple times.
Well, he's floated.
Okay. It's the same thing, just higher and faster.
It's kind of the same thing of before as here's some wacky shenanigans that just get eerily weird as they go on, like Wanda giving birth.
Also, my brother Noah, hi Noah, hello, he noticed that there's Vision still has the stone in his head. So what does that mean?
My going theory is that that's a stone from another universe. But then that does messed up things, because you can't just go to someone else's universe and take their stones.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a lot of questions.
Dude, yeah. But it's good. It's great. It's so much fun. I like the Doctor as well. He's like, sorry, small towns, you can't escape.
Yeah,
Vision's like, that was weird anyways.
It seems they don't want to let Vision, at least some of them, Agatha, I guess...
Agnes.
She doesn't want him to know specifically.
Yeah.
Because she had to convince her not to tell him.
Mm-hmm.
Because they know that Geraldine is an outsider.
And Wanda just yeeted Geraldine. She just said... just threw her out of the sitcom.
And we see that it does have boundaries, her reality.
So, I know last week I said that I think all the townspeople are sword agents. I'm slightly revising that. I think just Geraldine is a sword agent. Everyone else is townspeople that were in Westview before Wanda turned it into a sitcom. And for some reason they're living in fear of her finding out that they're in a sitcom.
For the whole retro TV thing, I think that maybe that is the case, because in the Twilight Zone, one of their most popular episodes was where a little boy had complete control over a small town because he could change reality at a whim.
Interesting.
And he disappeared people he didn't like to the cornfield.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of the same thing going on here, except Wanda's not as creepy. She's not a little kid murdering people.
She's still pretty creepy.
Yeah. Though this does beg the question, how many people have disappeared? Like, we don't know what timeline we're in, like, in frame of the show. How long has she been in Westview?
Yeah, that's true.
Because we didn't get a transition this episode. She didn't say, you know what, this all messed up. 80s time.
Yeah.
And I thought my TV was messed up when she reversed Vision.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, did my internet just mess up? That's funny.
Lots and lots of questions.
Alright. It was good. It was good talking WandaVision with you. I'm gonna say something real quick and cut it at the beginning of the episode because I forgot to mention the email at the beginning. And now we're gonna get into some emails. Every single time I want to say letters because of the Weekly Planet. We have 2 emails today, which is great. You can go first.
That's from Big Studio Investor at hotmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Dear those guys from that show we just bought. That's us.
Do they not know our names?
I mean, do we know our names? We're so glad to have you in our family.
Hey, that sounds pretty good.
Good start.
Uh-huh.
Just know, however,
Sure.
that this show is not popular, and we will drop you faster than your dad dropped you as a baby.
Okay.
Also, don't forget to be promoting. I think you got the wrong note earlier.
It's the Jolly Ranchers gummies, right?
No, this says Paper Jam Guitars.
Okay.
I think that might have been corporate sabotage earlier.
Yes.
When we said Jolly Ranchers, we meant Paper Jam Guitars. You know, it's weird. They stopped selling these in the early 2000s, I think.
Uh-huh.
I think this is just surplus from the factory, but, you know, go to your local warehouse and ask for Paper Jams with a Z.
With a Z.
Guitars with a Z.
With a Z. We gotta be inclusive.
Good luck. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Sincerely, Big Studio Investor.
Okay, well, I hope that this episode is popular because last week's wasn't.
We got mixed messages from that one.
And now for our second email. This is from Google Community Team -no reply at google.com.
Oh no, those guys.
Hey, this sounds promising. I think this is a fan letter.
I think so.
If I can open it. From Google Community Team -no reply at google.com. The Daily. Welcome to Google. Now you can start growing your business.
That is what we wanted to do.
That sounds pretty promising. Manage my profile. Your Google account is live. You now have access to a range of tools like Google My Business. It lets you create a free business profile that helps you stand out on Google Maps and search. We can be on the map?
I mean, this is a show, so I don't know how specifically we can get that, but you know.
We'll figure it
Sounds
out. Manage my profile. Get started with your Google account. Start your journey by exploring your account settings. Get started. Find answers. Visit the Help Center to learn more about your Google account. They sound like a fan. I'm going to be honest. Thank you for writing in Google Community Team -no reply at google.com.
It must be a foreign name.
Yeah, I never heard it. And now, it's time for my favorite segment of the show, birthdays.
Birthdays.
I don't know where my hat is. I have this, so I'm covered. Did you turn it on? It's okay.
Okay. Happy birthday,
Yes, happy birthday to the following.
Evan Peters.
Hey, happy birthday, Evan. He's Quicksilver.
I was gonna say second, but guess he was first.
Yeah, he was first. That movie was 2014. Age of Ultron was 2015.
And they're both dead, technically. One's universe is dead, and the other just got shot a bunch by a robot.
Yep. Got him.
John Hurt.
Hey, happy birthday, John.
Buzz Aldrin.
Happy birthday, Buzz.
Another Doctor Who actor, Tom Baker.
Hey, happy
fourth
birthday,
Doctor.
Tom. That's awesome. That's my mom's favorite doctor.
He does have the scarf, and that makes him the best. Jerry Traynor from iCarly, Drake and Josh.
Oh, okay,
Fame.
cool. Happy birthday, Jerry.
Grigory Rasputin.
That sounds familiar.
Rasputin, the guy who got shot and killed a bunch, the Russian guy. The evil guy.
Okay. Oh, so this isn't just like modern day celebrities.
No.
This is historical figures as well.
I'm going to historical figures, dead people, the whole shebang.
Dang, okay, happy birthday, Gregory.
Also, I'm not sure. Maybe last episode I said Larry King.
Oh.
I feel like I did. And to be clear, to save our show, you can't link anything between those two.
We did not kill Larry King.
No.
I would never.
You can't prove anything, at least. Edgar Allan Poe.
Happy birthday, Edgar.
Logan Learman.
Who's that?
Percy Jackson.
Oh,
The lightning thief.
Logan Lerman.
Lerman.
Happy birthday, Logan.
Dave Bautista.
Happy birthday, Dave.
Al Capone.
Happy birthday, Al.
Steve Harvey.
Hey,
The same thing as Ellen and Oprah, to be honest.
and he, the messages he preaches is all like, you can buy your way to heaven. So, like, middling happy birthday, Steve.
Muhammad Ali.
Well, yeah, happy birthday, Muhammad. R.I.P.
He fought Superman that one time.
Sure.
Ben Shapiro.
Unhappy birthday,
Very
Ben.
unhappy birthday.
Gosh.
He's seen better birthday lists. Martin Luther King Jr.
Oh my gosh. Happy birthday, Martin.
That's just how it was listed. I didn't put those two next to each
forgot
other.
MLKJ Day. What a day. Milk Day.
My favorite day.
Uh-huh.
Jason Bateman.
Hey, happy birthday, Jason. There's a lot of January good birthdays.
Grant Gustin.
Happy birthday, Grant. Speaking of The Flash.
Dave Grohl.
Hey, happy birthday, Dave.
Star of The Muppets and Bill and Ted.
Dylan
Thrace the Music.
Thrace.
With a 3.
Bill and Threed.
Thread. Carl Weathers.
Happy birthday, Carl. Do the hand thing. Do the baby hand thing. He's great in The Mandalorian.
Michael Pena.
Happy birthday, Michael.
Julia Louise Dreyfus.
Hey, happy birthday, Julia.
Rob Zombie.
Happy birthday, Rob. Loved your Halloween movie.
Orlando Bloom.
Happy birthday, Orlando.
Jeff Bezos. Unhappy birthday.
No comment.
Jermaine Clement.
Happy birthday, Jermaine.
Richard Nixon.
Okay.
He's not a crook.
That's true. I heard that about him.
J.K. Simmons.
You know what? Happy birthday, JK.
Elvis Presley.
Okay. Happy birthday, King.
Stephen Hawking.
Happy birthday, Stephen.
David Bowie.
Happy birthday, David.
Kim Jong-un.
I don't have an opinion on him. I'm gonna be honest. I guess happy birthday? I don't know. I don't care.
And finally,
Uh-oh.
R. Kelly.
To be clear, we do not wish R. Kelly a happy birthday.
No.
We here at the Daily Placeholder do not condone R. Kelly in any way, shape, or form.
We cannot stress enough how unhappy a birthday or just nothing we can give on to him.
Yeah. If everyone could just forget that R. Kelly exists, that would be great.
You can find better covers of all his songs.
That's probably true. I don't listen to his songs, so I don't care. Is that all your birthdays?
It is, in fact.
That was a good birthday week for us.
Lots of dead people.
Yep. Unfortunately. Like Larry King. R.I.P. Larry King.
Rip. This episode is dedicated to you specifically.
100%. There's a great interview of Larry King and Stan Lee. It's one of the best things I've ever seen. I'm going to be honest. It might just be because they're both now dead. I'm going to play that at the end of this episode.
You're forgetting about the one where he interviews Ben Schwartz. And he does a Sonic
That's
impression.
the Sonic impression?
I'm Sonic.
Okay. This is the end of the episode. R.I.P. Larry King.
A female character you've created that you'd have a crush on if she was real.
All of them, every single. I modeled all of them after my wife. Every one of them.
One thing you change about the world.
What would I change? I'd make people not hate each other because of their religion, because of their nationality, because of any stupid reason. If we could abolish hatred, We live on this gorgeous planet. There's a character I wrote called the Silver Surfer, and I always had him making those kind of remarks, philosophical things about, he was from another world, and he said, why don't we realize we're on a planet that gives us everything, food, beautiful weather, sun, everything. Why don't we enjoy it? Why do we spend time fighting and hating each other? I loved writing the Silver Surfer.
You are basically a child at heart, aren't you?
I guess.
Yeah. Who's the Marvel actor you've bonded with the most?
The Marvel actor, Chris, the fellow who plays Captain America.
Oh,
and he was the Human Torch. And
He was?
And then they made him Captain America. And he's the greatest guy, but I love them all.
Boy, I love the Human Torch. I remember the Torch. I was a kid. I
didn't even create him. A
No.
fellow named Carl Burgos did. Before I went to work for Marvel, they had a Human Torch
Has been around
and
a long time.
Submariner. And the
Oh.
two were always fighting each other.
Submariner was one of my favorites.
There you go.
What's the best thing about Hollywood?
Probably the fact that my wife and I live here.
What's the worst thing about Hollywood?
The fact that we weren't born here.
What's your favorite all-time DC comic book character?
They had a guy whose name I forget. He was a bad guy.
Bad guy?
Yeah, he was a villain, and he was but he was recently. They had him a few years ago. Since I can't remember his name, let's forget it. My all-time favorite DC character, did you say?
Yeah.
Probably Superman, because it seems obvious now. But when Siegel and Schuster created Superman, there had never been anything like that. A person who had all those powers and could do all those
Came
things.
from another planet.
And it was so imaginative. The only thing they had to eventually create Krypton, because they realized you wouldn't worry about the hero if nothing could hurt him. And you always have to worry about your hero.
But when Clark Kent took off his glasses, he became Superman. Why didn't they recognize him when he was Clark Kent?
I have joked about that at conventions so
It never
often.
made sense to me.
I say, hello, my name is Stan Lee. Ooh, where did Stan go? Who's this fella now?
That's
I know,
crazy.
it's ridiculous. I
And
agree.
now that there are no phone booths, where does Clark Kent change?
I couldn't tell you because I haven't read any Superman stories in years. But I'll tell you one thing you may not have thought of. You know one of the greatest things about Spider-Man's outfit, his costume?
What?
He is completely covered. So any kid could imagine he's Spider-Man because no color of the skin shows. He could be black under that. He could be red. He could be yellow. He could belong to any race. And that
True.
wasn't done purposely. It was done accidentally. But I think it was the best thing we did, making him so that he could be anybody under that costume.
I never thought of that, but that's true. That's
Yeah,
great.
it is.
Next, we'll wrap things up with fan questions from social media with the
Uh-oh.
great Stan Lee. Don't click away.